Angelites, thank you for joining in and being here for this reading, this Mid Aquarius season reading. I didn't do a season preview. I did do a February reading, but I didn't record it. And it's like I'm getting back into reading because I've been, so focused on healing through this process of healing. So I haven't really given much energy to what else I love and all those things. So this is reading. Again, thank you for joining. Be sure to hit the like or subscribe button to support. Comment if you got anything you want to give back in terms of like whatever said. If there's anything you tap into while I'm reading, bring it up. It may be for someone else. It may be for me. It may be for you. That is actually a major energy right now for me, is, stepping into that vulnerability space, that vulnerable space, and embracing it. And I think that's a call for a lot of people right now, for a lot of us here. I think vulnerability and being vulnerable is something that hasn't necessarily been highlighted for people. As time has gone on, it's actually been like dissuaded, so just know that here at Limitless Light, we love it. Okay, vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability is love. Vulnerability is what's up. Okay, so that's more of what you're going to see here. But for this reading, this Mid Aquarius season reading, I'm going to get right into it. So a big energy that I felt for this time period after being in such a, well, not even after, but like after the impact of an immense sort of energy of disappointment that I feel like for years has been preluded. The energy has been preluding that we need to let go of things, aspects of our realities in our lives in order to, really be aligned with the energies that are nourishing us, and embrace those energies within the realms of what doesn't cross our boundaries, essentially, and doesn't disregard our souls, essentially, and our desires, sexual or non-sexual, right? So there's been this energy of letting go for so long, and as we neared closer to this time of being in the age of Aquarius and exiting out of the age of Pisces, I believe. I don't know. Or maybe it was the age of Capricorn, one of those two. It's, anyway, it's been a big energy. It's been a more magnetic energy. It's been huge. And now we're in this time of sort of like, it feels like a big slump of energy. There's a mathematical term for this, but I can't recall it. And if you know, please let me know. Please comment. Yeah, it's like a slump, and I feel like a big aspect that should be incorporated at this time. I've been meditating on it. What we need is healing, self-healing, collective healing. There needs to be healing in that. With Jupiter going direct yesterday, today's February 5th. Tomorrow's the best Aquarius in the world birthday. So with Jupiter having gone direct, this energy of activeness, of getting more active, of being more in our energy of striving for things, it's kicking off pretty heavily, and much more heavily than it has been is a good way to put it. We may feel a little bit dissuaded, a little discouraged, a little confused. And so I am here to read on that energy. So I did this reading and I recorded it, but I deleted it. So here I am going again right after I already gave it. All right, so I'm using two decks. I'm using the Shamanic Healing deck because healing is the focus, the overall focus of what we need. And then I'm using this other deck I don't know the name of, but all the cards are landscape. I'm going to just pull out a card from the center. It's the Hierophant. So they're landscape like that, okay? So that's really cool to me. I don't have any other decks like this. So I probably should know what it's called. It's just, like I said, me and names. So I'm gonna start first with the Oracle, the Shamanic Healing Oracle. And the first card that came out is Sacred Space. The second card that came out is Struggle. And the bottom of the deck energy is Divine Timing. Okay, so I think this is sort of reflective of the energy that I've already spoken on. It's super reflective. Like the slump that I was describing can be that period of struggle, and it can be a period that we've been in for a while, or that we will continue to be in for some time until we embrace other energies, right? So hyperfixating on anything for too long is kind of sickening for individuals, for beings. So it's good to have that fluidity and movement. And I feel like the rest of this read is sort of showing us how, even the Sacred Space here is showing us how to stay grounded as we remain fluid, right? As we embrace fluidity. Speaking of Aquarius and water bearing, right? I'm gonna go into the tarot portion of the reading. So we have a few, all of these cards are so beautiful. When I look at them, there's a few terms, a few aspects that are just immediately coming to my mind, and that is expansion, Aquarius energy, very much so. And I want to say fierceness. I want to say strategy, strategizing, organizing type of energy, but also there's this relaxingness to it, so it's not forced per se, even though other things may seem that way. All right, so going into it, we start with the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is traditionally a card. Six of Wands, I'm making sure I'm saying the right one, because that's why I recorded it. I think that's why the last one deleted, is because I kept saying the wrong card. But this is the Six of Wands, and it's depicted by like a Pegasus. I'm going to look up a Pegasus and put more information about Pegasus in the video, probably right here. For me, immediately, I harnessed in on the fires on the water, like floating on the water, which is like, usually fire and water don't mix, but to find a way for fire to float on water outside of Jamaican magical, mysterious waters, it sort of seems counterintuitive. And also I focused on being this Pegasus being surrounded by water and panicking, ready to stomp the fire out. Not water, but fire, ready to stomp the fire out. And I feel like the focus on the fire may distract the Pegasus from realizing the Pegasus can just fly away and get to safety. So things may feel unsafe at this time. For some of us, for many of us, though this is water, the Pegasus is walking on it. So when it comes to walking into an unknown area, into a seemingly unsafe area, there is panic. There may be panic, okay? We may be panicking. But now re-looking at this card as well, there's this beautiful backdrop of the night sky, and it almost seems like that's the element to be in, is in this expansive element, in this expansive energy, and that because it reflects us. There's like these glitters on the wings of the Pegasus. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like they sort of are indicative of this reflecting the stars. It's really interesting. We're going to come back to that energy of the Six of Wands and the way that it's depicted in this deck. But let's go on with this next card, the Five of Swords. A lot of right now is about knowing the element to be in right now, knowing what your element is, and knowing how to defend yourself, not necessarily needing to defend yourself, but knowing how to defend yourself. It's important because there's so many things. Like I was talking about distractions and trying to figure out what information is the correct information, what information is the most aligned information to sort of be guided by, right? And truth is the answer, the truth, but it's hard to decipher what that is. It's important to use discernment at this time and to embrace the warrior spirit inside of yourself going forward into the rest of this year, potentially 5 months at least, because it's already been rough and it's going to probably increase. There are so many, I think these are sparrows. There are so many different sparrows. There's 5 sparrows in the forefront, but then behind those sparrows there are so many sparrows just flying around, so many ideas maybe. So maybe this is grounding our ideas, grounding our desires, getting a clearer, more succinct, more structured ideal of what we are looking to get out of this time, out of our passions, out of our efforts and things like that. So that's the focus we need to be in, maybe, potentially. That also came out with the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is really quite sweet. So I think it's really about finding the silver lining in a lot of things at this time when things feel a little unbalanced and disharmonic. There are a bunch of balloons, hot air balloons going up. I feel again that plays into understanding where our efforts are best exercised. Like hot air balloons on the ground aren't necessarily, it's like nobody is going to see hot air balloons that are grounded. Like, you know what I mean? There's not festivals for hot air balloons, and we're not, these two beings here, we're not here to witness things being non-movement. We're not here to witness non-movement, right? At the same time, I think there's a distinction that needs to be made between a spectacle, what's a spectacle, and what is a spectacle to distract us, and what is a spectacle that we should embrace, or that we can better embrace. I feel like there's a lot of excessiveness that we may be feeling, like things are too excessive right now, things are too distracting because they are so excessive, right? Both with the 5 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, with all of the different birds. So it can feel chaotic, this time can feel chaotic. So it's important to ground ourselves in that sense of understanding and that sense of knowing what we're doing, why we're doing it, and all those wonderful aspects of the process. The next card is the King of Pentacles. So to me, this is saying like, take breaks when you need to, okay? This is depicted by a cheetah, and cheetahs are kind of known for their speed and also their camouflage and their awareness, of course, their alertness. So I feel like the King of Pentacles is alert. This depiction especially is saying that I'm alert, but I'm supported, I'm resting in that support, and I'm only going after things that are worthwhile to me. I don't always need to be running. I'm gonna rest because it's just as important as action. So even at this time of like Jupiter going direct and all these things, like it's important to sort of recognize and discern when our energies are best implemented actively, and when it's a good time to just sort of kick up our feet and give ourselves a break from this overwhelming aspect that we are potentially feeling at this time. The full moon in Leo is coming up. And next we have the 5 of Wands, and it's depicted by rabbits under the full moon. So this full moon energy might be a crux or a shift. It's a 5, okay? So 5 is all about shifting and allowing change to take place in the ways that it may need to take place. But with the rabbits here, not only do rabbits represent like fortitude, or I don't want to say fortitude, but abundance and expansion, right? Because rabbits on rabbits, okay? Not only that, but just know that during this full moon in Leo that there may be a major opportunity for expansion at this time in the community, maybe potentially in our own smaller familial communities as well, and that everyone has a role to play. I feel like saying everyone has their job, everyone has capacity to input and to shift this situation, to support this shift. The last card here, before we go to the bottom of the deck energy, is the 4 of Cups. To be honest, between the King of Pentacles and this card, they're the cards with the most prominent like shadows in them. So I feel like this is going to be a time to sort of embrace the shadow aspects of life, of our individual lives and our collective shadow. That is a song, by the way. That is the name of a song that actually I was a part of. So I think it's coming into the light and embracing truth of the way things are, and not necessarily the way that we want them to be. Understanding what is nourishing us truly. I don't know if this is in the my computer timed out. I don't know if this was in the image so y'all can see it, but it's about knowing how to place ourselves in the light of the truth, and the truth of the light, at this time. It's big discernment energy. It is active energy, but it's also embracing this grounding and this resting and this understanding. So yeah, that is basically what we need to do. We need to find that sacred space in the truth. The truth is the sacred space, I believe. And I know that everyone things are objective, things are subjective, and everyone has their opinion about what is the truth, about what is the best. I think this overall is talking about what is good and true to you. What information are you receiving, or have you received, that feels the most honest and the most true to you, and that you're operating from at this time, right? For the bottom of the deck energy, we have the Knight of Cups, which is, we started with a horse, we're ending with a horse. The first horse was a Pegasus, a white Pegasus. This horse is white. I don't know what kind of flower this horse has on it, and I'm gonna try to put it closer. Maybe someone could tell me, or I'll just do some research, and if I find anything, it'll go right here. Right here. I feel like this is going to bring us into a space, by highlighting our sacred space and embracing it. It's going to bring us into this expansive energy, into this expansive, abundant energy, and have us realize that we can be grounded in it, and it can be a beautiful thing. And we don't have to have this warrior spirit be at the forefront all the time, but there is a time and a place for it, and by embracing it and knowing when the right time to embrace it is, because we have done shadow work, basically, because we've embraced and found an understanding with the shadow aspects of ourselves, we're able to more fully ground ourselves in energy that is expansive and is rewarding and is refreshing. Okay, that is a beautiful energy to be in. And I'm so happy that this definitely is a reading that is reflective of our time. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Divine Angellight, for tuning in. I will be uploading again. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not so worried about the likes. Subscribes are great, just because I don't really have a succinct uploading schedule yet. I am working on it. I'm working on getting back into the swing of life after intensity on my part of, having an intense past few months, and, I'm just trying to get regrounded and a lot of things. Not only that, but supersede that and embrace, like this reading said, even more of the refreshing aspects of life that really, I think that everybody who is putting in the work, shadow work and all, and being honest and being truthful deserves. And I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, toot toot. But yeah, I think it's something that, if I'm being honest, I feel like it's my time to embrace as well. All right, enough about me. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you hopefully on the next video that I put out, hopefully sooner than later, but life. All right, be love, stay light, and remember, you got this.